It is now. Alright guys, I know it's a little dark, but 4:50 in the morning, we're on the way to the GC, baby.
Welcome to the High Performance Podcast. How good is this?
First stop of the trip, coffee. 6 a.m. We've made good time so far. Good times, no car accidents. Just reminiscing about Liftmas. Yeah, Liftmas. Shout out. We'll explain on the next podcast, Ed. No, we should. No, we'll talk about Liftmas because we'll be bringing it back as Liftmas for the High Performance Podcast. No, it's the High Performance Invitational. The golf tournament we have is our version of Liftmas now. But we'll explain what Liftmas is and how I invented it. We've finally stopped off at probably Australia's most cherished place. Actually, some people say that this should be our nation's capital. It's very hot. Let's see where we are. Alright guys, and now we will tell you a Liftmas tale. So Oscar, do you want to kick this? Well, actually, let me kick this off. Oscar... This is a bad start to the story. So we used to work out of a warehouse style gym, and I guess everyone was running their separate businesses out of there, all the different PTs, and came around Christmas time, the first year that the place was open, and everyone was just bragging about these crazy Christmas parties that they were going to have, but they weren't really that fitness related. Like most people who train with a trainer, they drag themselves to the gym, and you know, all their hobbies aren't really fitness related, but because we're good trainers, we actually had some people that enjoyed lifting. Yeah, we had some good clients, and we had all our clients, my client base down there. They're pretty much like us. Yeah, they're like us, like our
I hope they don't find that offensive.
Between
if they're
30
listening.
and 18, and just fucking legends. So I was like, look, none of them are competing athletes. Some were, but it was Christmas time, so I was like, we need to peak everyone's program for this day. And this is going back, I think I had my first Liftmas in 2013. Yeah, 2013. So we peaked everyone for that day. We'd go into the gym, everyone would try and lift 1 or 2 PBs, and then we'd go back to our parents' place at the time and
just have an absolute barn burner.
And for the next 3 years, Liftmas just developed into this crazy party.
Yeah, Liftmas in July.
There are illegal details that we can't go into, but then the year after that, we ended up at one of my clients' houses. People were freaking out. We lost the plot. It took me 5 days to recover. Shout out to everyone that was there. They'll know
A couple of panic attacks that week when we were back at work.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Look, Liftmas...
And then the last one was down at my client who lent us their house down the coast. So we had a weekend away after we went to the gym, lifted PB. So we just had amazing times. And believe it or not, I was the first Liftmas in the world. It's trademarked. It's on the internet. High Performance Liftmas, but now we
hear that, Jesse Langbean? All right, you can have a Christmas party, but it ain't Liftmas.
So he's the only guy I know that couldn't handle Liftmas. 2 years, 1 year spewed, 1 year freaked out.
Yeah, 1 year me and Oscar actually had to hold his hand and walk him home back to his apartment.
Yeah.
But look, Liftmas has been dormant for the last few years. Obviously, me and Oscar have been living up in Sydney. We'll see, we've got the High Performance Invitational, but I still want to have the Liftmas spirit. I want to bring it back. So I think 2018 could be the return of Liftmas.
Yeah, look, I'd love to have Liftmas, but I think the High Performance Golf Invitational, the wheels are in motion for something very, very, very special this year. So stay tuned for that.
Maybe we'll rename. Maybe it'll be the High Performance Weekender.
Yeah, I think
it'll be like the Watangi
Festival of Sport, but just golf and Liftmas.
Could have a few other events. Alright, we're about to get flying, so we will catch up with you guys when we're getting closer to the Gold Coast. Thanksgiving. Alright guys, finally arrived on the GC. Just checked into our first accommodation. We've got 2 different sets of accommodation up here. We're about to head to the convention center for the media opening. Check out where we are.
So thank you for being here. So let me tell you a couple of the things that you will like. We've put together 843 volunteers to basically look after all of you. Not just here, but in every venue. So you will have every bit of support that you need. And see these people in these wonderful uniforms? They're your volunteers. So can you join with me and thank the volunteers?
Jubbin, jubbin, na you. Jubbin, jubbin, na you.
We're waiting for our opening ceremony tickets. Waiting. Had too much beer and cheese. This is a bad idea. Yeah, sleepy. Just got back to the comm. All done for the day. Off to the opening ceremony tomorrow. A bit of athlete training and a bit of training ourselves. So, cue training montage.
Oscar's car smells like wet paint, but we survived day one.
Probably because of you.
What?
You guys would have seen last night, a bit from the press conference, they looked after us. They really look after the media. There's 800 volunteers just to help out the media, which is awesome.
Well, that's one of the things we didn't really think about. Like, obviously, there's been so much negative press surrounding organised games like this, you know, from the Olympics to the Commonwealth Games. And are there other versions of the Commonwealth Games? Like I know there's the Asian Games. Oh yeah, Pan Ams, Europeans. Yeah, okay. But there's obviously like a lot of negative press surrounding these things. People worry about the economic impacts. People worry about all the drugs in sport and stuff. So we didn't realise how much they'd look after the media just so everyone reports favourably on it. But look, 2 thumbs up from your boys. Okay, we're pretty cheap.
Exactly.
Bit of wine, bit of cheese, bit of free beer, and we're on your side.
And now we're heading off to Actv Strength Co, run by Ali Day and Joseph Coyne.
So that's both guests we've had on the podcast. Be sure to check out their episodes. I think we'll hit you with the training montage soon, or maybe just footage of us sipping down some hot brew.
Alright, here we are. Actv Strength Co.
No, man. This is a common issue with a lot of people squat, and even though in Oscars it's only minor, things can always be better. So why not make them better? Okay, so what in particular we're looking at is, like, Oscar's one of those people that says his glutes just fire up like that. But even with light squats, so on the way down he remains neutral, but then on the way up he goes into extension in his back. Probably just because he has a really strong back and not that strong a lower abdominals, or it could just be a proprioception thing. I think with a lot of people, once they start just thinking about it and get the intent right, then that usually fixes it up, at least at lighter weights.
I never have anyone watch me squat, so it's interesting for Angus to say, and I've only just started back full squatting.
And that's the thing, like, a lot of people like immediately, and obviously sometimes it's the coach's fault as well. This is an issue I have in communication. A lot of people, when you start pointing this stuff out, they get into denial and they start to get very defensive, but that's one of the best things about Oscar. He's always open to criticism, so, you know.
Alright, so now I'll show you what we mean. So have a look at Oscar on the way down, he's going to stay neutral, but then on the way up, see how there's just that little bit of shortness in the back of the lower abdominals and ankle. So what we're going to cue him to do on the way up is drive the knees out and pull the pelvis up to the ribcage on the way up. So on the way down, pelvis up to the ribcage. There we go. Lift a little bit better. Pelvis up to the ribcage. And I'll cut your depth a little bit and just go down a little bit slower. Up. That's it. Bigger brace. See how now he's probably fatiguing a little bit. You can see he's going to that slight bit of extension on the way down. But now you can kind of see how he is at least mindful of it. And you can see him adjusting his position on the way down. So we'll check back in another couple of sets.
Sometimes this can be a byproduct of trying to stay too upright in your squat. So we all know that... I've got stuff all over my face.
It doesn't matter, it makes you...
We all know that with a high bar squat, the intent is to stay as upright as possible, but not at the expense of certain key positions, like maintaining that neutral trunk. So maybe Oscar's too focused on keeping the chest up. If you do not let your chest come forward at all, sometimes it's just naturally, if you run out of range in the ankles, then the hips have to shift back. So you notice, as soon as the knees stop going forward, then the hips start to shift back. And then that's why I say it's so rare that you see anyone with actually adequate ankle mobility without a raised heel to squat to depth properly. So then if we look at, if I'm willing to give up on that upright torso a little bit, all of a sudden we can keep way more neutral as opposed to this. So this, not this. Okay, so So we're going to see if we can correct it on Oscar's squat. So what we're going to do, we're going to allow a little more forward lean. We're going to cut the depth a little bit and just work on the intent of kicking the pelvis pulled up to the rib cage. It's better. Get your hips, so you're already in a bit of extension. Pull your hips under, and that's it. Lean back. It's a bit better. It's a bit better. I still think it's a bit better. That was better on the way up. You didn't go more into extension. See, I think Oscar's trying to keep the chest too up right here.
You see a lot of CrossFitters now, and I understand in WODs where you have to do multiple different exercises, you don't necessarily want to be running around in a clunky pair of weightlifting shoes, but when you're just squatting, go back to the heeled shoe. It is going to help you. It's so rare that you see people with sufficient ankle mobility to squat without a heel. I do have Romulus, I did lift him in quite a lot, but my thing is, I'm like, if I'm not squatting anything respectable, which I'm really not compared to what I can do at the moment, but that's just my mindset, I won't use my Romulus, but exactly. I'll start back with my Romulus next week.
Plan is 160 squat minimum every day of the Com Games. We'll see. So what Oscar's working on this set is keeping the knuckles down, so it's going to get a higher contact point, and it's also going to keep the bar closer. We're working on the elbows moving out and not back when he finishes, and just moving a little slow from the floor so he's still got room to accelerate. The other benefit of moving slow from the floor is it just allows you to be more mindful of your positions. Turn your elbows in more and elbows out at the top. That's it. Not bad. Just more of this. More of this.
Alright, so one of my accessory exercises, god damn it, is Peterson step up. So you don't want to kick up off the opposite leg. This is great for VMO. I also feel at top of my hemi through my glutes after squatting, clean pulling and benching.
Step ups are actually hectic.
Like with that little kick. Yeah, the key to any step up is to not cheat unless it's specified. So I'll give you an example right now.
Well, the issue is... Got it? There you go. Getting out of the pocket. Give us some of that valgus, just for case stuff. Very nice valgus.
Oh, it's actually fucking torture. Time to share the dream with some more people, as Angus says.
Share the dream. Please.
Just about to check back in and see what athlete training we can go to.
I dream of low humidity and no clouds.
Not getting that up here.
So just arrived at the media hub, finally got through security. It was trouble, had to be strip searched and everything, but look, that's just the price you got to pay for peace of mind these days.
So now we're at the main press centre. We're going to log in, see if there's any athlete training that we can go to today. Alright, just got on the tram. We're heading off to watch the Australian and Canadian weightlifting team train. Hopefully get some footage there, hopefully get some good connections. Just made the train and then car to the Gold Coast Turf Club. This is the amazing race.
Alright, back to the car. Got about 10 minutes to get there.
We are at the weightlifting facility watching Australia and Canada hit some sessions.
I think it's just heavier guys just because they're... Probably doesn't want to be missing this close to comp, but he got it in the end, so coach will be off his back now.